The man in the middle wearing white in this footage is Hakimullah Masood, the leader of the Pakistani Taliban. Pakistani security officials said Friday that he was killed by a missile strike from a U.S. drone aircraft. He had apparently been coming from a meeting with his al-Qaeda-linked group in North Waziristan, which is part of Pakistan's tribal areas near the Afghan border. WSJ's Islamabad-based correspondent Saeed Shah says that the killing comes as the Pakistani government has been looking to hold peace talks with the Pakistani Taliban. Pakistani leaders have also been stepping up their protests against U.S. drone strikes inside their country, saying that the strikes violate Pakistani sovereignty. Piracy off Somalia's coast has plunged dramatically, reports WSJ's Meg Coker and Costas Paris. In 2011, there were 237 piracy-related events. This year, through October, there have been only 10. A big reason why is that international navies have been beefing up their military defenses and deploying drones in the region to track pirate boats. And shipping companies are starting to put armed guards on their vessels. But there's a disturbing flip side to this development. The Somali crime lords behind the pirate networks are finding other illicit ways to make a living, including forging partnerships with al-Qaeda-linked militant groups like al-Shabaab. Officials say former piracy bosses are now involved in Somalia's charcoal trade, which is one of the main revenue sources for al-Shabaab terrorism operations. We go to Nick Casey in our Mexico City bureau for a look at the most recently discovered drug smuggling tunnel under the U.S.-Mexico border.
Authorities this week announced the discovery of something that's become increasingly common on the border, a so-called drug super tunnel, a tunnel that ran under the border and ran the length of nearly 6 football fields. The tunnel included everything from an electric rail system to lighting to get large quantities, likely of marijuana and cocaine, from one side of the border to the other. These tunnels have become more popular among Mexican drug traffickers if they've faced more border security above ground on the border, literally driving them underground. It also leads to the question of just how many of these tunnels still exist.
This is the Foreign Bureau, WSJ's Global News Update.